And so we're back here on a Monday night at 9:26 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Ned McGreevy League and the battle for second place. So Philadelphia, Cleveland again tonight, and possibly we'll see. We might do a doubleheader, and if we do, it'll be Butler Providence, because that we have basically right now a four-way tie for third place with Philadelphia, Providence, Butler, and Bellingham. Got to start breaking this big old tie up. So two teams have been eliminated, Arsenal and St. Louis. Carolina is one game away from elimination. Liverpool is two. And then our third place cluster that we have, Philadelphia, Providence, Butler, and Bellingham, 4 games away from elimination. Cleveland, 6. Manchester, 6 games right now. So pretty much um, pretty safe to say that, Manchester is going to finish in first or in a tie for first or at worst second place. So Manchester looks like it will be the home team in our 3-game World Series. So it's really up to trying to get things settled with these 5 other teams: Cleveland, Philadelphia, Providence, Butler, and Bellingham. You pretty much count Liverpool, Carolina out. Just mathematically, it's not going to happen for them. So let's get to the ballpark and Philadelphia, Cleveland, and I don't know whether this thing is still having fits, but I'm not worried about it. So if we end up at Great American Ballpark, we end up at Great American Ballpark. All right, Cleveland is the home team, and let's play. Yep, there we are again. Don't know what it's doing, and it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't affect the game at this point, just game aesthetics. All right, so they're going to go against Tesro, and we're going to pick the second lineup versus righties. And pitchers, let me see here. Looks like it's going to be Addy Joss. Addy Joss taking the hill. And let's get going. Hey, good evening there, Big Clue. I saw your big post in Discord, so we'll talk about it a little bit, and I'll certainly answer it as well. Something more for the other channel, but certainly I've been sort of passing around the idea of getting some people together to do some D&D, maybe digitally. If you're familiar, if you look on Steam, there's a great program called Tailspire that looks like it could be really cool, super interactive. Another one would be Neverwinter Nights, which I have, and I think everybody, you pick it up super cheap. So we could, and that's based on 3rd edition D&D. I think Tailspire might be 5th edition, not sure. I have been keeping up with the OGL debacle. Crazy stuff, but we can talk about that more. Hope to launch the new channel pretty soon. I'm kind of getting antsy to do some stuff. So there we go. All right, battle for second place. So Cleveland and Philadelphia is kind of our marquee game tonight, and let's get to it. Yes, it's having ballpark amnesia. I don't know what it's doing, but at this point, I'm not going to worry about correcting it. We're so near the end of this project, so. All right, welcome to the ballpark for today's game between Philadelphia and Philadelphia and Cleveland. Philadelphia has won just 2 of its last 10. Jeff Tesler takes the mound for Philadelphia. He's 27 starts in the year, 12-14 with an earned run average of 2.58. This will be his 3rd start against second place Cleveland, and he's 1-1 with a 0.53 earned run average against them. Taking the mound to oppose Tesro will be Addy Joss, the human hairpin for the Cleveland Spiders. Trying for his 20th win of the season. He has 29 starts in the year, 19-11, with an overall ERA of 2.38. This will be his 4th go against Philadelphia, and he's 2-1 with a 1.3 earned run average against Philly. Cleveland third baseman Home Run Baker is riding a 16-game hitting streak. Game time temperature 62 degrees, wind speed 20 miles per hour, out to left center field.
Play ball.
All right, the usual suspects for both teams actually tonight. So, leading off here for Philadelphia in the top of the first is left fielder George Van Haltren. Van Haltren, a 243 average, a home run, 34 runs batted in. As we wait for Addy Joss to finish his warm-up pitches, settle in, and thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Appreciate it. And here's the 0-1 delivery. Van Haltren, routine grounder, but Lajoie bobbling the ball. That is the 29th error at second base for the great Napa Lajoie. And the E4 allows a runner on first to George Van Haltren. Van Haltren with 35 steals in the season. Shortstop George Davis now steps into the left side of the box. Davis hitting 208, 3 home runs, 42 runs batted in. Van Haltren, good lead off first. Joss checks the runner. And he fires it home. Davis, this one catching the inside corner for strike one. The steal was on, but Van Haltren unable to get a good jump. Gibson tosses the ball back to Addy Joss. Joss peers in, has the sign for Gibson. Once more, the check of the runner. Van Haltren at first, throws over. Van Haltren dives in under the Tenney tag. Joss deals now the 0-1 delivery. And George Davis sends this high fly ball to left. Going back in the corner is Jimmy Sheckard. He will make the catch. Van Haltren will retreat to first. Not going to run on Jimmy Sheckard's arm. So Eddie Collins now, Hall of Fame second baseman, hitting 249. 1 home run, 40 runs batted in for him. Van Haltren, good lead at first. Joss with the 1-1 delivery to Collins. Fastball. And this one sky to right and down into the glove of right fielder Sam Thompson. So 2 away here, just getting underway, top of the first, and it brings up third baseman Bill Joyce. Joyce hitting just 181, 5 home runs, 44 ribbies. Joss winds and fires. Joyce swings on the first pitch, so this ball is going to get out into center field. That's going to be an E2, and Van Haltren is going to make third. So 2 errors in the game thus far. So Lajoie committing an error and Gibson committing the throwing error. So an E4 and E2, and Van Haltren finds himself third base for the Philadelphia Quakers. Bill Joyce back in the box. The 1-0 delivery. Joyce swings, base hit up the middle. RBI single for Joyce. Van Haltren will score. And Philadelphia tallies one here in the top of the first. Right fielder Mike Tiernan bats from the left. Tiernan hitting 245, 3 homers, 29 runs batted in. Bill Joyce has 34 steals. Joyce, good lead off at first. Here's Joss's delivery. And pitch out, nothing doing. So Joyce hanging there at first. Joss brings it home again, the 1-0 delivery. And the throw down, and the tag not in time. So Chapman a little late on the tag. Pardon me, good throw by George Moon Gibson, but Bill Joyce picks up steal number 35. So runner in scoring position for Philadelphia with 2 away and a run in. Tiernan back in there. The 1-1. Tiernan waves at it. A little bounding ball to short. Chapman coming in quickly. Throw to Tenney and bang bang play, but Tiernan makes it. And how about this? Scoring all the way around is Bill Joyce. So a lot of speed on this Philadelphia team, and it is now 2-0, 2 down. Let's look at that one again. So Joyce is already off on second. It looked like it might have been a hit and a run. Slow bounder to short. Chapman gets this. The throw loses the race, and Joyce was already tearing around third, and after the dust settled, Bill Joyce is safe. So Tiernan at first, he has thefted, if you will, 26 bases. And here is catcher Chief Myers. Chief Myers at 233 home runs, 50 runs batted in. So Philadelphia striking quickly here in the top of the first. Joss brings it home. No, there goes Tiernan. Gibson's throw. And Tiernan just in under the tag. Close call. Runner in scoring position for Philadelphia. Joss in trouble here in the top of the first. Addy fires it in. The 1-0 delivery to Myers. Curveball, base hit into left. Tiernan is rounding third. Jimmy Sheckard up with the ball. Tiernan will score. RBI single for Chief Myers. And the Quakers have plated 3 here in the top of the first. So the 2 errors not helping Addy Joss at all. And here is Henry Larkin. Larkin is hitting at a 258 clip, 2 dingers and 61 runs batted in. Gibson sets up the target for Addy Joss, who winds and fires. Payoff pitch to Larkin. Larkin, hard hit ground ball. Joss off the hill to his right. Says, if my defense can't do it, I'll do it myself. Side retired, but 3 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors. We've played a half inning. It's the Philadelphia Quakers 3 and the Cleveland Spiders coming to bat. Jeff Tesreau finishing his warm-up tosses, and here is right fielder Sam Thompson. Steps in. Thompson batting left, hitting 269, 3 home runs, 41 runs batted in. Good crowd here today at the ballpark. Tesreau lets it go. The 0-2 to Thompson, and grounder to Eddie Collins at second, making a nice play. Up with it, and one motion to throw to first to Larkin for the 4-3 putout. 1 down. As we mentioned, Home Run Baker is riding a 16-game hitting streak. Steps into the box. Tesreau brings it home. Baker comebacker to the mound. Tesreau up with it quickly onto Larkin. And Baker with a lot of speed, but they get him by a step. So 2 up, 2 down for Napoleon Lajoie. Lajoie, the league leader in batting, hitting 341. He's got a home run and 92 runs batted in. Tesreau kicks and fires. Payoff pitch to Lajoie. Chopper to third. Joyce up with it. Long throw across the diamond to Larkin. And they're not going to get Lajoie. So that one, Lajoie, by the time he digs it out of the infield dirt there at first, and or by the time, Larkin digs it out, Lajoie is on first. So Napoleon Lajoie has 23 steals in a season, and here's Fred Tenney, 298 with 33 runs batted in. These 2 teams have played just some tough baseball against each other all season. Tesreau checks Lajoie, and there goes Lajoie. Myers comes up, gun in the throw, and Lajoie is caught dead to rights. So no runs, 1 hit. No runs, no hits, 1 error. We've played 1. It's the Quakers 3 and the Spiders nothing. Roy Thomas, Jeff Tesreau, and the back of the top of the order, George Van Haltren due up. So glad so many of you came in to check out Aaron's broadcast yesterday. He ended up doing 3 different games: Earl Weaver Baseball, Clutch Hitter, and World Series Baseball 1993 or 4, one of those 2. But anyhow, good job. We'll have Aaron on again. All right, Roy Thomas to lead it off here in the top of the second. Thomas hitting 251, 29 runs batted in. Addy Joss kicks and delivers. The 1-0. Thomas swings, chopper to first. Fred Tenney will take this to the bag unassisted to retire Thomas for the first out of the second inning. Pitcher Jeff Tesreau now. He's sporting a 157 average, 8 runs batted in for Tesreau. Joss comes home with it. Tesreau swinging on the first pitch, pops this one on the infield. Chapman at short and Baker at third converging, and Sheckard sneaking in on the ball. Baker waves them off, makes the catch. 2 quick outs here in the top of the second. Joss maybe getting a chance to settle down to try to get this third out. Again, 2 errors committed by Cleveland back in the first. Van Haltren grounded to second and was safe on an error. We're back at the top of the order now for Philadelphia. Joss brings it. Van Haltren swings, and this one lofted to left. It has a little bit of distance, but Jimmy Sheckard calls for it, and can of corn. So Philadelphia goes quietly, and we go to the bottom of the second inning. It's 3-0. As Fred Tenney steps in. The number 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Cleveland, Tenney, Hoy, and Sheckard. Fred Tenney, 298, 33 runs batted in. Lajoie was gunned down trying to steal, so Tenney getting another up here. Tesreau with a 1-0 to Tenney. Tenney swings, changeup, chopped to second, and Tenney, speed coming out of the box. Eddie Collins committing in an error. So 2 Hall of Fame shortstops committing errors. So E4, and that is the second error committed by Philadelphia, and Fred Tenney is aboard. Tenney with 11 steals, projected to steal 22. And Jeff Tesreau will face center fielder Dummy Hoy, hitting 178, 2 home runs, 44 ribbies for Dummy Hoy. Tesreau checks Tenney at first. There he goes. Myers comes up gunning, and this is going to be a close one, but Tenney steals number 12. So potential first run for Cleveland in scoring position here in the bottom of the second. Tesreau getting the ball back. Peers in, has the sign from Chief. Myers checks the runner at second. Tenney a pretty good lead. The 1-0 delivery to Dummy Hoy. And Hoy draws the walk as we snap forward a few pitches in time. 2 aboard for Cleveland, nobody out for left fielder Jimmy Sheckard. Sheckard hitting 223. He's batted in 32. Tenney at second, Hoy at first. Tesreau with the wind, payoff pitch to Sheckard. Sheckard, this one, strike 3 called in at the knees in the full count. So 1 away for shortstop Ray Chapman, who's hitting 196, a home run, 47 runs batted in. George Gibson, the catcher, waits on deck. Tesreau rubs up the ball, scuffed, tobacco stained, infield dirt all over it. Tesreau comes home with it now to Chapman. Chapman cutting in the first pitch. The runners go. The throw to third to Joyce, and they catch Fred Tenney stealing. So the double steal on, only halfway successful. They get Dummy Hoy at least a second, but 2 away. So Cleveland gambling here in the bottom of the second. Chapman back in the box in the 1-0 delivery. And Chapman, big swing and a miss. Nowhere near that ball. No runs, no hits, 1 error. A man left on and a caught stealing. We've played 2. It's 3-0 Philadelphia. George Davis, Eddie Collins, and Bill Joyce due up for the Quakers. Quakers right now a game behind Cleveland, so they are in a 5-way tie for third. That will change after this game, and we may do a doubleheader. We'll see. So got 4 in, no likes, so we'll see about that. We may not. George Davis is 0 for 1. He flied down the left field line. Gibson sets the target. Joss delivers the 1-2 delivery. Davis swings, fly ball to center, and Hoy camps under it and makes the catch. 1 down. Second baseman, Eddie Collins. Collins gave it a ride to deep right center in his last at bat. Joss deals from the hill in the 1-0 to Eddie Collins. Fastball chopped to first. Fred Tenney has it, and he will take it to the bag himself. 3 unassisted, 2 down. And thank you for the one person leading that, like. I appreciate that. Those do help. All right. Anyhow, Bill Joyce is 1 for 1 with 2 away. Singled an RBI back in the first, scoring George Van Haltren. Joss brings it home. First pitch swinging on this fastball. Fly to right. Sam Thompson backpedaling on it and makes the catch. And that ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom of the third, it is still 3-0 Philadelphia. Due up for Cleveland, George Gibson, Addie Joss, and then Sam Thompson. Gibson acquired from the Pittsburgh Pirates, hitting 234, a home run, and 41 runs batted in. Tesreau brings it home, the 2-0 delivery. Fastball Ground into short. Davis up with it and on to Larkin in plenty of time for the 6-3 put out, and one down here in the bottom of the third. Addy Joss, not known for the bat, hitting 115, 7 runs batted in. Just about the time I say that, Joss is probably going to smoke one. Here's Tessero's delivery, the 2-1. And Joss does send it to shallow center. Thomas coming in quickly on the ball and makes a nice diving catch. So 2 up, 2 down for Cleveland. And we go back to the top of the order, and right fielder Sam Thompson. Thompson grounded out to second back in the first. Tessero toes the rubber, the 0-1 delivery. Change up, sent up the middle, but Eddie Collins, like a Hoover out there, will retire Thompson. Cleveland once again goes quietly. We go to the top of the fourth. It is 3-0. And good evening to Legend Sports Universe. Good to see you tonight. Yep, as Big Clue says that he is playing with Steve's 5-year file for the first time tonight. He says this stuff is so cool. Indeed it is. Late 50s Braves versus the early 60s Reds. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Offline, doing a lot of exhibitions with that file. It's just fun to just put 2 teams together and play it. As Robbie is on another topic there. Cool, Robbie. All right, Mike Tiernan 1 for 1. It would be Tiernan, Myers, and Larkin. Infield single, and Bill Joyce scoring on that. So RBI for Tiernan, making it Philadelphia 2-0 at the time. Philadelphia plating 3 in the top of the first. Each team has only stranded 1 runner thus far. Joss brings it home, the 0-2 to Tiernan fastball. Tiernan sends this high to center, but not deep, and Dummy Hoy a few steps to his left and in makes the catch. So 1 away now. Chief Myers 1 for 1 in the game, and he has himself an RBI, scoring Mike Tiernan back in the first, giving Philadelphia its 3rd tally. Joss, the 2-2 now to Myers, and Myers, strike 3 called. That's 2 away. Joss picking up his first strikeout of the contest. And here's first baseman Henry Larkin, who grounded back to Joss to end the inning back in the first. Joss brings it home. Count even on Larkin. And another strikeout. This one also a called third strike. Second strikeout recorded by Addy Joss. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It is 3-0 in favor of Philadelphia. Baker 0 for 1, trying to keep this, extend this 16-game hitting streak. Grounded back to Jeff Tessero. Tessero has fanned 2 and walked 1. Tessero brings it to Baker, and Frank Baker, a big swing and a miss. And that will be K number 3 for Jeff Tessero, as Napoleon Lajoie, who was safe on an error back in the first. Lajoie and Collins, each of these great second basemen, have errors in this game, by the way. Tessero lets it go, the 1-1 delivery. Lajoie to Davis at short, and Davis to Larkin at first for the 6-3 routine put out of Lajoie. 2 up, 2 down. Fred Tenney now, first baseman, is 0 for 1, safe on an error last time up. Tenney steps in the box, waits for Tessero's delivery. Myers with the sets the target. Payoff pitch to Tenney, and Tenney ripping a miss. 4th strikeout for Jeff Tessero. Inning over. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Philadelphia 3, Cleveland 0. Philadelphia will send up Roy Thomas, Jeff Tessero, and George Van Haltren. Center fielder Roy Thomas is 0 for 1 in the game. Grounded to first, back in the second. Joss brings her home. Thomas swinging on the first pitch. Solid base hit, stroked into left. Jimmy Sheckard up with that ball. Gets it back into Ray Chapman. Thomas will hold. Thomas with 20 steals in the season, projected to steal 27. Good lead on first as Tessero steps in. Here is the throw over, and Thomas back easily, corners in. Baker in at third, Tenney in at first. Joss with the 0-1 delivery to Tessero. Tessero gets a good bunt down. Tenney up with it, and his only play will be to Lajoie covering at first. 1 away, sacrifice successful. And Roy Thomas in scoring position now for Philadelphia. Knowing this Cleveland team can storm back, it is shown. In fact, the other night. Cleveland stormed back. Um, just a great, great game. So if you didn't see it, do catch it, please. All right, Van Haltren now has grounded to second and flied out to left. One away, runner on second. Joss with a 3-1 to Van Haltren. Van Haltren lays off. This one a little bit up and in for ball 4. 2 aboard, 1 down. Philadelphia looking to add to this 3-0 lead. George Davis has flied out twice in the game. Joss into his wind in the 1-2 delivery to George Davis. Fastball by Davis. This one grounded back to Joss, who's going to go to Chapman at short to get one runner. They could not turn the double play, so 2 away. Runners at the corners. George Davis at first has 37 steals. Roy Thomas at third for Eddie Collins. Second baseman is nothing for 2. He's flied out and grounded out. Joss working from the stretch. Collins, first pitch swinging. Nope, this is a throw down by Gibson. And George Davis has steal number 38. So 2 in scoring position for Philadelphia. Joss working from the stretch again. Here's the 1-0 to Eddie Collins. Eddie Collins, base hit into left. That's going to score Thomas. Davis rounding third. Jimmy Sheckard up with the ball. Davis will score. 2 RBI single for Eddie Collins. And it's 5-0 Philadelphia here in the top of the 5th. Eddie Collins, of course, a great, great base stealer. 47 steals in the season. And here's Bill Joyce having a good day. 1 for 2. RBI in the first for him. Collins, good lead off of first. Cleveland battery keeping an eye on him. And there he goes. Gibson throws down the tag and not in time. Big cloud of dust, and Eddie Collins stands triumphantly with steal number 48. Runner in scoring position for Philadelphia. 2 in here on the top of the 5th. Joss brings it home to Joyce, the 0-1. Joyce cuts on this, base hit into left field. Collins will score easily from second. Joyce has himself another RBI. It's now 6-0 Philadelphia. So Philadelphia coming out here with a quickness, with a vengeance. 6 unanswered runs by Cleveland. Or 6 unanswered runs Philadelphia. The Cleveland has not answered, however you want to put it. Joyce at first. 35 steals, good lead. Joss bringing it. 3-0 delivery to Mike Tiernan. Tiernan lays off. Joss in trouble, and he cannot blame his defense this time. So Joyce at second, Tiernan at first, and Chief Myers 1 for 2. RBI in the first, scoring Tiernan, who is on first right now. Joss's 0-1 delivery to Chief Myers. Cut on. Base hit into right. Thompson up with it. Joyce rounding third. Tiernan rounding second. And Joyce will score the throw to third. And Tiernan is safe. It's 7-0 Philadelphia. Philadelphia scoring 3 in the first and 4 thus far here in the top of the 5th. So becoming a tough game here. Tiernan now at third, and here's Henry Larkin. Larkin is nothing for 2. Joss brings it now. Larkin swings, grounder to short. Chapman has it on to Tenney at first to retire the side blessedly for Cleveland. 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors. Bottom of the 5th, it's 7-0. And we will have Dummy Hoy, Jimmy Sheckard, and Ray Chapman leading it off. And looking at viewership and number of likes, there will just be 1 game played out tonight, and we'll just auto out the rest. So enjoy, guys. Glad you're doing it or hanging out with me. We're going at a pretty good clip. We'll keep it going and get to the end of this. All right, Dummy Hoy hitting 178, 2 home runs, 44 runs batted in. He walked back in the second. Jeff Tesreau has fanned 4, and he has walked 1. Tesreau deals to Hoy, the 0-2 delivery. Hoy chops this one to short. George Davis up with it. Over to Henry Larkin, and Dummy Hoy is retired for the first out. Here is Jimmy Sheckard now. Sheckard, nothing for 1, and you can see the scoreboard. And pretty much see what Tesreau is also doing in this game. Jimmy Sheckard struck out his last time up. Tesreau with the 0-1 delivery. Sheckard swings, fly ball, center field. Thomas goes back on it and brings it down. 2 up, 2 down. Cleveland having a rough time against Jeff Tesreau today. Ray Chapman now 0-for-1, and he struck out back in the second. Tesreau brings it home. Payoff pitch to Chapman. Chapman lays off and draws the walk. So Jeff Tesreau issuing his second free pass of the game. Ray Chapman, in terms of stolen bases, has 22, has some speed. Cleveland with a runner aboard, trying desperately to get something going here in the middle innings as Moon Gibson steps in. The catcher grounded to short back in the third. Tesreau kicks and fires. The 3-1 pitch to Gibson. Little changeup, and this one nubbed to short. Davis coming in quickly onto Larkin with the stretch, and Gibson beats it out for an infield hit. No hitter broken up here in the bottom of the fifth. So Tesreau now working on a 1-hit shutout. Chapman at second, Gibson at first, and here is Addy Joss. Tesreau with the 1-2 delivery to his mound opponent. Joss swings, fly ball to center field. Thomas going back on it toward the wall, makes the catch. Joss gave it a ride, but it was just a long out, and we go to the top of the sixth. It is 7-0 Philadelphia. Philadelphia trying to overtake Cleveland and jump into second place. Roy Thomas is 1-for-2 in the contest. Singled back in the fifth. Joss brings it now, the 0-1 delivery. Thomas swings, base hit into center field. This one getting over the head of Napoleon Lajoie, who's giving chase in the infield. So Thomas aboard. And here goes Philadelphia again. Tesreau 0-for-1. Sacrificed his last time up. Joss with a check of the runner. Thomas brings it home. Infield in, looking bunt, as you would expect. This one fouled back. 0-2 now on Tesreau. The delivery from Joss once more. Fastball. And Tesreau, clean base hit past under the glove of Chapman into short. 2 aboard for Philadelphia. Nobody out. Philadelphia just putting on an attack. So far, the line for these teams for Philadelphia 7-9-2. Cleveland 0-1-2. Each team has stranded 3. So Roy Thomas at second, Jeff Tesreau at first. We get a little look at Jeff Tesreau. There he is. And Jeff Tesreau, if you've watched American Horror Story, he has a little bit, looks like a little bit of one of the actors in American Horror Story there. And here's George Van Haltren. Van Haltren is 0-for-2, and he walked his last time up. That was back in the fifth. Wind picking up here out to center now, up to 24 miles per hour. Strong, strong breeze coming off the lake. Tesreau comes home with it now, or Joss comes home with it. Van Haltren, grounder to second. Fred Tenney up with it. He's going to go to Chapman. Chapman will not get the relay. Hard slide by Jeff Tesreau, breaking up the double play. 1 down, but runners at the corner, so Philadelphia is still threatening as George Davis steps to the plate. Thomas on third. Van Haltren at first. George Davis has flied out twice and grounded out. Joss brings it home. The 1-2 delivery. Little hammer. And Davis not able to catch up to the curveball. That's Joss's third strikeout of the day. 2 out and for Eddie Collins, who's 1-for-3. Singled in the fifth. Joss from the stretch in the 0-2 delivery. Change up lined right to Fred Tenney, making a leaping grab. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the sixth. Cleveland needs to get busy. It's 7-0. Due up Sam Thompson. Top of the Cleveland order. Home run Baker waits on deck trying to extend his hitting streak. And Sam Thompson is grounded to second both times up. Tesreau with the 0-1 delivery. Fly ball to left. This has distance, but not enough. Van Haltren has it, giving good chase and brings it down. 1 away. Home run Baker. trying to keep this hitting streak going. 0 for 2 today. He has grounded out and struck out. Baker having a great career with the Philadelphia Athletics. Would also play for the New York Yankees. Long career for Baker. So played in the dead ball and was able to see both eras. Tesreau with the 1-0 delivery. And Baker swings, fly to right, and going back on it is Tiernan at the wall to make the catch. 2 down, so Cleveland, when it makes contact, basically just very, very loud outs. Just 1 hit for the Cleveland Spiders in this game. Tesreau thus far pitching masterfully. Lajoie is 0 for 2. He was safe on an error back in the first. It came to naught and grounded to short in the fourth. Tesreau to Lajoie, the 3-1. Lajoie connects, fly to center. Tiernan camps under it and makes the catch. Inning over. Cleveland goes in order, and we go to the 7th. 7-0 Philadelphia. This one turning into a laugher. Cleveland managing just 1 hit. Josh still looking fine. Unfortunately, the hometown manager is not here, so Josh is going to have to take one for the team. Bill Joyce 2 for 3 in the game. He has 2 RBI in this game. The lefty waits for the Josh delivery. Here is the payoff pitch to Bill Joyce. Fastball. Fastball misses. This one wide. And Josh starting to show some signs of fatigue. I think what we're going to do in this case, we're going to switch our options over, and we're going to make Philadelphia human and Cleveland computer. Since these 2 teams are in the race, the game does matter. We can let the AI make a decision for Cleveland. As Todd B just comes in. He says, well, it looks like the collapse is imminent. As Josh delivers the 1-1 pitch, Tiernan swings. This one lined right to Lajoie. Lajoie goes back to Tenney, and Bill Joyce is doubled up. So 2 quick outs, and Epirixi will now come in for Cleveland. So again, what I've done, because this game does matter, and this was right before Todd B came in, I switched control over to the computer to manage Cleveland because Addy Joss's arm would have fallen off. Now that Todd's here, if he wants to make changes, I can always switch back. But Philadelphia 7-0 lead is now human managed. All right, thank you, Todd. Yeah, don't worry, nobody's listening. Yeah, that's pretty much true. That's why we're just doing 1 game. All right, but I do thank you guys for coming in. Big Clue, thank you for dropping that like, buddy. I appreciate it. All right, Chief Myers is 2 for 3. And 2 singles, 2 RBI for him. Epirixi delivers the 3-0 delivery. Myers lays off, draws the walk. So Epirixi with a free pass. And Todd doesn't see a comeback. The other night was an amazing game. It was an amazing game. Both teams just battling it out like crazy. We'll see these 2 teams when we convene again. And then this series will conclude. And looks like it will be the last time these 2 will meet. The next series of games, not too many marquee matchups. Again, more spoiler games as we reach the end of this season and this particular project. Myers at first. Chief Myers stolen 8 bases. Was projected to steal 5. Larkin 0 for 3. Epirixi winds and fires the 2-0 delivery curveball, and Larkin gets a base hit. Myers rounding second. Jimmy Sheckard up with the ball, throws the ball into the infield. Myers will go to third, and Larkin gunned down at second. Middle of the 7th, it's 7-0 Cleveland. I've been small crowds lately, Todd, which is fine. We'll get to the end and we'll be done. 'Tis the way of things, my friend. All right, Fred Tenney. Nothing for 2. And again, just 1 hit in this game by the Cleveland Spiders. Tesreau working on a beautiful 1-hitter. Had a no-hitter into the 5th. Dummy Hoy waits on deck. Tesreau fires it in, the 2-1. Tenney swings, comebacker. Tesreau up with it quickly over to Larkin to get the speedy Tenney for out number 1. Dummy Hoy, nothing for 1 in the contest. Hoy has walked and grounded to short. Meyer sets the target. Tesreau brings it in. The 3-1. Hoy lays off. This one way outside. So Tesreau missing on that one. And Dummy Hoy aboard. He has 42 steals. Could this be the start of a Cleveland comeback? It is baseball after all. Jimmy Sheckard batting with 1 down. The left fielder is struck out and fly to right center. Tesreau brings it now the 3-0 to Jimmy Sheckard. Sheckard draws the walk, so back-to-back walks here by Jeff Tesreau. Setting up a double play situation. Tesreau will try to get Chapman to hit into a double play. Chapman has struck out and walked in this game. Hoy at second, Sheckard at first, 1 out, 7-0 your score. Tesreau to Chapman, the 0-1. Chapman cuts on this. Routine fly ball to center. Can of corn for Roy Thomas. Hoy will tag at second as the ball comes into George Davis. The runners will hold with 2 down. And Moon Gibson has the lone hit against Jeff Tesreau. And that was an infield single on the 5th. And that was a close call, by the way. And that broke up the no-hitter. Tesreau to Gibson. Gibson cuts in the first pitch. Grounder to Eddie Collins at second. Collins on to Larkin. Side retired. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 left on thanks to the 2 walks. And 7 complete here. And it's 7-0. And Todd, I don't know why Action PC is having a bit of an aneurysm, but it keeps insisting on doing Great American Ballpark. It's not letting me. I've reassigned League Park, but it's not picking it up. So, but it doesn't really affect the game. So, all right, Roy Thomas 2 for 3. Rixey on in relief. Rixey has worked a 1/3 of an inning. Brings it home to Thomas. Now, not much for these Cleveland fans to cheer about. Comebacker to Rixey. Rixey over to Tenney for the 1-3 put out. 1 down here. Game at 44 minutes. Actually 42 minutes. And Tesreau is 1 for 2. So Jeff Tesreau singled, solid single between 3rd and short back in the 6th. Rixey brings it, the 0-2 delivery. And Tesreau sends it for a ride to left. Sheckard at the wall makes the catch. It's 2 up, 2 down for George Van Haltren now when we're back at the top of the Quakers order. Van Haltren has grounded. He was safe on an error in the 1st. Flied out, walked in the 5th, and grounded to 1st in the 6th. Rixey brings it home. Count even. Van Haltren, this one a big swing and a miss. And Rixey gets the inning-ending strikeout. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom of the 8th, it is 7-0. And we will see if the AI will pinch hit for Rixey. And then back at the top of the order, Thompson and Baker. And there's Aaron Reed stopping in. Todd B says that he had a hiccup with Action PC, working on basketball with a couple other folks, and we were having problems. Emailed Dave about it. Yep, it has a little bit of it has its issues, but still a great game. As Christopher Slovic stopping in, saying his favorite YouTube tradition. Thank you, my friend. All right, it's gonna be a short night tonight, but glad you're here. I wanted to do the Providence game next, but I doubt that I'm going to be doing that. So, but thank you guys for hanging out. Rixey, we will see. Will there be a pinch hitter? There will be. Jack Berry. Jack Berry, 250 in the season. Long fly ball. And Van Haltren making a fine running catch So we haven't seen much of Jack Barry. Big, loud out once again. That has been the story for Cleveland. One base hit, and that's been by George Gibson. Back at the top of the Cleveland order now in Sam Thompson. Sam Thompson is grounded out twice and flied out. Tesreau brings it home, the 2-2 to Thompson. And this one, oh, what a stop by Davis. Diving stop and then up throwing from his knees onto Henry Larkin to retire the speedy Sam Thompson. So 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th, and a chance for last chance for home run Baker to extend this 16-game hitting streak. Jeff Tesreau into his wind and the 1-2 pitch, and Frank Baker now has hit safely in 17 straight games. So Frank Baker aboard. That's just the second hit off of Jeff Tesreau. Home run Baker with 24 steals in the season. Nap Lajoie, nothing for 3. Tesreau checks Baker at first. The 1-2 to Nap Lajoie. Swings, base hit into left, and here we go. Baker rounding second. Lajoie will hold at first. Baker will stay at second. 2 down, 2 Cleveland runners aboard. Baker at second, Lajoie at first. Fred Tenney now in there. Nothing in 3 attempts against Tesreau. Tesreau's wind in the 0-1 delivery to Fred Tenney. Fastball chopped to short. George Davis will go to first to retire Tenney and the side. We go to the 9th. Ed Rulbach now pitching for the Cleveland Spiders. So Rulbach's numbers look like this. 3.04 in the season. He is 12-13 with a save, 231 innings pitched. He has walked 70, struck out 94. And he will face the number 2, 3, 4 hitters for the Philadelphia Quakers, George Davis, Eddie Collins, and Bill Joyce. George Davis, nothing for 4, so not part of this 10-hit parade by the Philadelphia Quakers. Struck out his last time up. Ed Rulbach with a 3-2. Davis lays off and draws the walk, so the woes continuing here for Cleveland. George Davis aboard for Eddie Collins, and George Davis with 38 steals, and Eddie Collins a superb hit and run man. Or superb bunter, I should say. Decent hit and run. Rulbach brings it home. Full count on Eddie Collins. Collins will lay off, and you've got speed on the base paths now for Bill Joyce. Bill Joyce is 2 for 3, walked in the 7th. So Philadelphia looking to add to its gargantuan lead, 7-0. 3-hitter by Jeff Tesreau thus far. The 1-2 delivery to Joyce. Joyce cuts on this one. Hard grounder to third. Baker to Lajoie to Tenney for the double play. George Davis will make it to third. 2 down, and Ed Rulbach will try to get rid of Tiernan and give Cleveland a chance at a miracle in the bottom of the 9th inning. Mike Tiernan 1 for 3 against Cleveland. Rulbach from the stretch, count even on Tiernan. Tiernan swings, base hit to right. Philadelphia picks up its 8th run, RBI for Mike Tiernan. Sam Thompson getting the ball in. It's now an 8-0 Cleveland lead, or Philadelphia lead. So Cleveland looks like it will, depending upon the other games, will either be tied for second or could drop to third. We shall see, we shall see. Since we don't have divisional play, every game played at the end of the day, it's a full game up or down in the standings. Mike Tiernan with 27 steals in the season. 2 down here, top of the 9th, and a run in for Philadelphia. Rulbach with a 1-2 to Myers. Myers swings. This should end the inning. Grounder to short. Chapman will fire it on to Fred Tenney, and that will retire the side. But another run scores for Philadelphia. 1 hit, no errors, a man left. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. It's Philadelphia 8, Cleveland nothing. Tesreau looking strong out there, as you can see by the banner. And it's going to be Dummy Hoy, Jimmy Sheckard, and Ray Chapman. Tesreau ready to go now. Kicks and fires the 2-1 to Hoy. So Hoy sends this hard ground ball to third, but Bill Joyce in plenty of time onto Henry Larkin for out number 1 in the bottom of the 9th. Left fielder Jimmy Sheckard to face Tesreau. Tesreau with the 1-1 delivery. Sheckard, fly ball to center. Thomas camps under it. 2 up, 2 down, and it's down to Ray Chapman. Nothing for 2. Tesreau wheels and deals. Full count. Chapman lays off. So ball 4. Cleveland has a runner. So an 8-0 score. Cleveland unable to do anything against Philadelphia has stranded 2. And Philadelphia playing extremely efficiently. I'm sorry, so each team has left 7, I should say. So Cleveland blowing some chances, perhaps, and Philadelphia could have been doing a lot more. So I was looking at the errors, each team with 2 errors. Chapman, 22 steals in the season. Tesreau delivers to Gibson. Gibson fouls this back. Gibson has 1 of the 3 hits against Jeff Tesreau. Tesreau brings it now. The 0-2 to Gibson. Gibson come back to the mound, and Tesreau ends it in fine fashion on the 1-3 putout, and that's your ball game. The Philadelphia Quakers absolutely pound the Cleveland Spiders 8-0. Not a lot to say about this game. Philadelphia highlights: Bill Joyce went 2 for 4, 2 runs batted in. Mike Tiernan 2 for 4, also with 2 RBI. Jeff Tesreau gets the win. He improves to 13-14. Addy Joss takes the loss. He falls to 19-12. Philadelphia's line: 8 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors. For Cleveland, no runs, 3 hits, 2 errors. Just look at pitching really quickly. Tesreau, of course, with the 3-hitter, had a no-hitter into the 5th. He walked 5 and struck out 4. Addy Joss went 6 2/3 innings for Cleveland. 7 runs, 4 of those runs were earned. But again, in this, it really didn't matter, as Philadelphia had it won in the top of the 1st. Joss walked 3 and struck out 3. Eperixi worked 1 1/3, walked 1 and struck out 1. And Ed Rulbach came on, worked an inning and walked 2. We'll quickly go to our miscellaneous. Stolen bases, 4 of them by the Philadelphia Quakers: Van Halteren, Joyce, Tiernan, Davidson, Collins, 5. Fred Tenney picked up a steal for Cleveland. Nap Lajoie was caught stealing, as was Fred Tenney. Eddie Collins, with 2 runs batted in the game, picks up his 41st and 42nd. Chief Myers picks up RBI 51 and 52. Bill Joyce, RBI 45 and 46. And Mike Tiernan, RBI 30 and 31. Jeff Tesreau has his 3rd sacrifice hit. Great plays by George Davis, Roy Thomas, Fred Tenney. Harmon Baker with a poor play at 3rd. Jimmy Sheckard with an outfield assist. Philadelphia stranded 7. Cleveland stranded 8. Cleveland with 2 double plays. The game-winning RBI back in the 1st. Bill Joyce in the MVP. Not surprisingly, Jeff Tesreau. All right. So we'll let everything refresh, and we will autoplay the 2nd game. And then we'll cut out. And I want to thank you guys a lot. It's been a lot of fun. Clinton Parks, I see just a mere boring 9-inning game, unlike a 13-inning one that he played earlier. All right, we will check that out in Discord. All right, so we will see what happens as we autoplay the rest of these games. Butler and Providence would have been game 2, but not going to be doing it. I think we're just going to go ahead and autoplay. So Bellingham, one of the teams still in the race, is an outside runner. We'll face St. Louis. St. Louis, a chance to maybe play a little spoiler baseball. Here we go. And St. Louis indeed does do it. Edges Bellingham 4-3. So Bellingham will now fall to 71 and 69. This was a 12-inning affair. Hooks Wiltsey gets the win, goes to 8-1. Hooks has been very good for St. Louis this year. Dutch Leonard takes the loss for Bellingham. He goes to 15 and 11. Turkey Mike Donlin went 4 for 6 and 2 stolen bases. We'll hold off in Manchester and Carolina. We'll do one here, Arsenal Liverpool, that really has no meaning at this point. And Liverpool pounds Arsenal. So Liverpool jumps back to 500 baseball, but really Liverpool out of this game. So Hendricks gets the win for Liverpool. And Dave Fouts gets the loss for Arsenal. Tris Speaker for Liverpool Goes 3 for 4 with 3 steals. Now we have 2 meaningful games left. And we'll do Manchester and Carolina because they're not threatened. We will see if Carolina will be eliminated. And Carolina edges Manchester 1-0. So good news for Cleveland. So Frank Kitson gets the win for Carolina. He goes to 12-9. Pete Alexander tagged with the loss for Manchester. He goes to 16-15. Jesse Burkett went 1 for 3 with a stolen base and a walk. And finally, Providence and Butler. And Butler beats Providence tonight 5-3. Smokey Joe Wood will get the win, and he goes to 15-5. Old Haas Radborn will fall to 27-23. Freddie Perrin went 1 for 2 with a steal and 2 walks. So we'll check our standings at the end of play on this day. All right, and Cleveland holding on to second place. How about that? So now we have in the middle, it's down to at least a two-way tie for second. So let's look at it here. Carolina staving off elimination, by the way, 1 game from elimination. So Manchester still 6 games in front. Cleveland in second place and sole possession of second place, by the way, despite losing to Philadelphia. So Cleveland is at 73-67 and 6 games back. Butler and Philadelphia tied for third now, so we have broken up that 5-way tie that we had. But Butler and Philly each at 72-68, 7 games out, 4 games from elimination for these two. Then Bellingham and Providence, they are in at 4th place, tied for 4th at 71-69, 8 games back for them, 3 games from elimination. Liverpool, 2 games from elimination, 9 games out, pretty much out of the race, as is Carolina. 1 game from elimination, 10 games back, and then Arsenal and St. Louis already eliminated. So upcoming, when next we meet, will be Philadelphia, Cleveland, Bellingham at St. Louis, Arsenal at Liverpool, Manchester, Carolina, and Butler at Providence. So Butler and Providence will be a good one, of course, and Cleveland and Philadelphia. After that, I'm not seeing a lot of real sort of meaningful matchups at this point. Oh, actually, that's wrong. So we'll have Philadelphia and Providence. They'll battle it out. So we do have a few marquee matchups coming up. So that's it. That's it. Yep, we're about 14 games to go, Todd, and we're done. So basically, Christopher, at the end of the season, the first place team will host a 3-game World Series against the second place team. Should we have a tie for second, it'll be a one-game playoff to decide that position should it happen. And it's close right now. It's anybody's second place at this point. Just thinking about the teams above 500. So we have some teams in the race right now. Carolina, Arsenal, St. Louis really out of it. Liverpool about to be out of it. Liverpool just at 500 doesn't have it. So that's what we're doing. This is going to be a little 3-game World Series. That is all. So, yep, everything's still up for grabs. And, yep. So, Carolina staving off elimination tonight. That might be the other big story. So, Cleveland, despite losing to Philadelphia 8-0, still holding on to second place. So, a lot of props there to that Cleveland squad. And it also helped that Manchester lost tonight as well. So we will be starting, we'll be getting into one more with these teams. So Manchester fell to Carolina. All right, that's it, guys. Thank you very much. I want to thank Christopher Slovic, Todd B., World's Worst Gamer, Aaron Reed, Big Clue, Legend Sports Universe, and Robbie Wartburg. And we'll see you guys next time. I really appreciate you coming in and hanging out. And that will do it for me. I'm going to play some baseball offline. Be good, and it really means a lot. You guys been hanging around, and see you around the batting